Hi there, Aquarius. Welcome to your end of May 2023 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. The heart of the matter is the Hierophant, and this is a card that can be connected to marriage, as well as any situation where you feel like tradition is kind of in the forefront. So, like in professional situations, I think of like a corporate environment, maybe a government type of situation, or like the school system. What do you call it? Like if you're in any kind of like where there's a pecking order and you're climbing that ladder to success. But with Aquarius, this is not really your cup of tea because you prefer to be a nonconformist and tradition isn't really it for you. Although there are always outliers, there might be, some Aquarians, if you were raised by hippies, it kind of like on that show Family Ties, and you become like Michael J. Fox, kind of like a conservative because you're reacting to all these other people. So you want to be that distinctive character, nonconformist. That might be sometimes the way you have to do it. But in this particular case, it is really about this tradition or this thing that's always done. What is going on with that? In the past position, we have the Chariot, and this card is connected to Cancer in particular, but it can be a card of some sort of victory that has occurred because you transcended the duality represented by those black and white horses, and you did not allow yourself to become a binary thinker. And an example is like if you were thinking about this issue of marriage, that you're not just thinking about it in terms of, well, this is important to this other person. You also think about yourself. How do I feel about this? I'm the one that has to be here. So you're thinking on multiple levels. You're thinking about it from not just one perspective and making a decision that way. You may have had some kind of breakthrough victory on your own or some kind of success that has made you realize that you don't have to use that old model or that old paradigm to achieve things. So, like for instance, maybe you started your own business and it's taken off far more than you thought it would, and you have this opportunity to leave this kind of cookie cutter environment. The higher message is the Knight of Cups. This is a card that is very artistic and romantic, and so especially for those Aquarians who are, because we also have the Moon card, which can be about creative endeavors. So really tapping into that and maybe getting away from something that is more a top-down structure where you have so much freedom to do to express yourself in the way that you feel. What crosses you is the Ten of Swords. This is a card of betrayal. So it's really, even if someone decides that they're going to leave a job, betrayal, you would think that betrayal would make it easier to leave if you felt like stabbed in the back from somebody at work, or like a boss or whatever. The person who was promised a promotion, for instance, and did all this extra work only to be passed over, is an example of that. But the thing is that sometimes when people do experience those disappointments, they can feel it chipping away at their self-esteem. They may think that they, weren't good enough. They didn't make the grade. So it's not as clear cut as like, oh, wow, I can do this. Same thing if this has to do with relationship issues. This can be something if like somebody, you might have had somebody cheat, or the Chariot can even be some kind of somebody traveled, went away. I mean, it's a card of travel, and found somebody else, or they just kind of like left town, skipped town. And that can feel very uncomfortable, even though maybe it wasn't right for you to begin with. So it's really about the Ten of Swords is like the number 10 is about the end of a um, a cycle. So if you're able to embrace that something is over with, you're going to be more likely to accept it. And what's coming in is the Eight of Cups, and this is a card of leaving behind what no longer serves you. And sometimes these kinds of things can be quite dramatic, because it's like the person, especially if you're undergoing a spiritual transformation, everything can seem meaningless when a person is doing that, because that's part of the process. That gets you away from the mundane. Because the Hierophant can even be like you're on a spiritual path. But if you're afraid of things being, feeling meaningless that before gave you a sense of fulfillment, and that like somehow that threatens you, then it's going to be very hard for you to actually walk away with a confident feeling. You might be kind of ambivalent about it. You might have this trace of negativity. And you really want, I always say about the Eight of Cups, it's not about walking away from something. It's about knowing what you want to walk towards. Anybody can leave a situation. Anybody can leave a relationship or a job. But if you don't have a vision of what you're seeking, then it's just, in a certain sense, you could say it's escapism sometimes. Because it's like sometimes people just crave novelty, or times are a little bit tough, but it's like they can't handle conflict. But, when you know that you're not being fulfilled emotionally and spiritually, then you can figure out what it is that you want to call into your life. The outcome is a Moon card. There may still be things that you are working out that are unknown, but you have to be okay with the unknown. If it feels like if this is relationship related, maybe you're walking towards a new person. The Knight of Cups could be somebody new that is coming into your life, but you're not quite sure. Is this person really who they claim to be? If this is an actual Pisces, because the funny thing is, the moon represents Pisces in the tarot, but it actually rules Cancer in astrology, and you got the Chariot card, which is connected to Cancer, so I suppose it could be either one. Both of those signs are really quite different than Aquarius, so there might be an adjustment that needs to be made if you are getting involved with either one of those signs. But this could be like new territory for you, but also creatively. This might be that you're deciding to put all your effort into some creative project where you were doing it on the side before, because you see that you're having success, represented by the Chariot, but you kind of always relegated it to a side project, and now you're just going for it. Okay, that's what I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.